Continuing on the idea of duality and opposites, Lao Tzu continues to make the point that these opposites are really united in a singular process. Let's take a look at 3 different translations of chapter 2. One reads, "All in the world know the beauty of the beautiful, and in doing this they have the idea of what ugliness is. They all know the skill of the skillful, and in doing this they have the idea of what the want of skill is. So it is that existence and non-existence give birth the one to the idea of the other, that difficulty and ease produce the one, the idea of the other, that length and shortness fashion out of the one the figure of the other, that the ideas of height and lowness arise from the contrast of the one with the other, that the musical notes and tones become harmonious through the relation of one with another, and that being before and behind give the idea of one following another. Therefore the sage manages affairs without doing anything, and conveys his instructions without the use of speech. All things spring up, and there is not one which declines to show itself. They grow, and there is no claim made for their ownership. They go through their processes, and there is no expectation of a reward for the results. The work is accomplished, and there is no resting in it as an achievement. The work is done, but how no one can see, 'tis this that makes the power not cease to be." Another reads, "Everywhere it is obvious that if beauty makes a display of beauty, it is sheer ugliness. It is obvious that if goodness makes a display of goodness, it is sheer badness. For to be and not to be are mutually conditioned. The difficult, the easy are mutually definitioned. The long, the short are mutually exhibitioned. Above, below are mutually cognitioned. The sound, the voice are mutually coalitioned. Before and after are mutually positioned. Therefore the holy man abides by non-assertion in his affairs, and conveys by silence his instruction. When the 10,000 things arise, verily, he refuses them not. He quickens but owns not. He acts but claims not. Merit he accomplishes, but he does not dwell on it. Since he does not dwell on it, it will never leave him." And a third reads, "When everyone recognizes beauty to be only a masquerade, then it is simply ugliness. In the same way goodness, if it is not sincere, is not goodness. So existence and non-existence are incompatible. The difficult and easy are mutually opposites. Just as the long and the short, the high and the low, the loud and soft, the before and the behind, are all opposites, and each reveals the other. Therefore the wise man is not conspicuous in his affairs, or given to much talking. Though troubles arise, he is not irritated. He produces but does not own. He acts but claims no merit. He builds but does not dwell therein, and because he does not dwell therein, he never departs." In the first lines about knowing beauty makes ugliness, Lao Tzu is giving us an example of how the opposites imply each other's existence. They are, after all, pairs. At the same time, it is pointed to that so-called beauty or goodness are subjective perceptions which we project onto what is being seen. We don't really see the actual attributes of any given thing, whether it be a personality or some event. This is partially because of our own preconceptions, and partially because of the complexity within any given personality or event. For example, people are generally not just good or bad people. They have numerous emotions flowing through them, and are quite capable of achieving states of goodness as well as badness, and every shade in between. Nature is neither inherently good, evil, beautiful, or ugly. It just is. It is rather neutral in the sense of these descriptive words. He wants us to learn to see beauty in ugliness, and ugliness in beauty, because neither can exist without the relationship of the other, and in a way, each is a concept that holds no ground in reality. So the cockroach and the centipede are no longer in every case seen as disgusting and terrifying. They're simply seen for what they are, a part of nature. This thread continues on into the second verse with more examples of the pairs of opposites such as existence and non-existence, above and below, loud and soft, long and short, before and after. The chapter is ended with some words about the sage, who has realized the prior teachings and is in a state of non-judgment. They have learned to refrain from judgment and interference. The sage is able to attain non-action, a sort of state in which deeds are done for their own sake, rather than for attention, praise, or kudos of any sort. When the sage accomplishes a task, they do not seek to be rewarded or bask in their own glory. They continue on doing and not doing. The sage does not talk much, using silence to their benefit and advantage, not looking to be a leader, just setting a quiet and humble example for others. The sage does not feel irritated when things go wrong, as this is part of nature and cannot fully be avoided. We certainly have much to learn from this sage character, and we'll meet them many more times during this journey into the Tao.